way I hope it does. But anyways, um, I'm going live briefly because I feel like some people don't understand this particular condition and how it affects people in their relationships. There are a couple of people that I feel like suspect may have this disorder as well, not just me. But I can't focus on them. I have to focus on us explaining. I feel like I have to explain, over explain, because a lot of people are ignorant to um, the effects of this, and it's not that. Um, as a matter of fact, it is said, it, well, if they could say a character or specific characters have this condition, that borderline personality. Let's see who, Jeffrey Dahmer. Um, he had a lot of other stuff going on too, but the part that was borderline with him was that um, he definitely had a fear of being abandoned. So much so that he would take these men, and I'm not saying it was okay what he did. It was not. It was sick what he did, but there's a lot of people that have borderline personality that's probably endanger themselves more than others. But I don't know, the statistics is saying that 10% of people with borderline personality actually successfully um, end it all. And so I'm thinking that the way that they hurt themselves, or yeah, maybe a lot of people with borderline personality are probably will try to do stuff to um, control a person by any means, and that means if I can't have you and nobody else can. I know what that fucking feels like. I know what it feels like to dread people leaving, even when it's not even a real perceived like suspicion or fear. A lot of people with borderline personality have this thing where they either see you as really good or really bad. Then there's no in between. So either they love you and you're the best thing since sliced bread, or they hate you and you're the worst thing since black licorice and black jelly beans. Um, there's no common ground. Also, another thing that we could do is completely disassociate ourselves from reality and what's going on around us, and it's kind of like we're just drifting in existence, and we're not really there, and we're not really engaging with our environment and the people around us. Also, I feel like isolation um, could be a good thing, or not be a good thing. Could be a thing that we exhibit as well. I know when I get in my bouts of BPD, I I feel like everybody's against me. That everybody's leaving. Everybody's you know gonna leave anyways. So I might as well don't be around them. And this contributes also to my depression, and escalates to other things as well if you let it sit and harbor for too long. So it's really difficult, and it's a challenge to live life with this condition. I want to show and share more about this condition with um, people, and help them better understand that there are two different BPDs. Okay, borderline personality is one of them, and then there is bipolar disorder, and they are not the same thing. So some people get the two twisted and mixed up. Bipolar is where you have one extreme to the next. So one extreme of really mania. You know what I'm saying? You can get a lot of stuff done and you just can't sleep and stuff. And then when you're really down. So there's no in the middle with them. There's this really uh, extreme motivation or demotivation. That's what I look at it as. In borderline personality is um, on the extreme side as well, I think, but it's just extreme, um, extremely distorted views of relationships and feelings of abandonment and all that other stuff. So, yeah, two different things. Usually, when I hear people talking about bipolar, there's different forms of bipolar as well. I don't, as far as I know, there's only one form of borderline personality disorder, or maybe they have yet uh, to classify another form of it. Maybe that's what it is. So I'm not for sure, but I like topics about mental health and especially like letting people know what um, it does to you and how it affects your everyday life. Oh, with my YouTube channel, um, I am establishing relationships with people, whether I want to or not, and um, I mean, I really want to. I really like to engage with people on here, real people. Um, but it's just very difficult for me because sometimes when I feel like people aren't engaging with me, that they're doing it intentionally and they're all working together on this conglomerate plan to like um, take me down, ignore me, ostracize me from my peers. And other times when I feel like people are being super supportive, um, being, considerate, they love me, they fuck with me, they're really, for me. So it depends on what people do and how I see them, how I see if they're um, against me or for me, and then I will lump. And it sucks. I don't like to lump everybody in a group like that. That is bullshit because everybody is not the same, and I have some relationships with people that have been we never had no issues, and probably, even though we have misunderstandings, never will because of the simple fact that the respect is there. It's there, but I still just don't really think that anyone truly is going to stay in my life. I feel like my first love, he's not to blame for that, but um, I definitely feel like he exhibits some traits of that and some other stuff too. I don't want to diagnose him wrongly because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a professional. I did study psychology for 3 years and really close to get my degree, but I didn't finish through. But while I was there, I learned a lot of different stuff about people, their behaviors, their um, what contributes to certain disorders or um, different things that people do or have, like abandonment issues or overly attached or codependency. Um, some of that stuff is rooted from upbringing, and some of the stuff is rooted from, you know, the okay. So some of the stuff is genetic, and some of the stuff is environmental. So it's two different things, and then talk about nature versus nurture. That's the topic of, or you know, basis of um debate in psychology that they like to focus on why this is this and that is that. But you know, you see, when psychology just want to know everything, and I feel like some stuff better be better off not knowing. Um, when I was going to school, and I was really passionate about what I was going to school for, I still felt like the more I knew, the more like now responsibility I have on myself to um, fix all these different things, or to look at them and trust them, and to, you know, I also have family members that are suffering from stuff like this, and I have family members that have also unalived themselves, and it can lead to like unresolved um when you're not treating it or dealing with it. It can lead to a whole bunch of fucked up shit. So definitely, I'm not gonna practice about. I'm not gonna preach about nothing that I don't believe in, and I definitely feel like people need to address their traumas, and they need to, whatever way you can. Therapy is not ideal for everyone. It's not, and some people have treatment resistant conditions that they're just gonna have to work through their entire life. They always gonna have this 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 mental this psychological ailment that's going to just make life more difficult for them, and make everything more difficult for them. But you know, they need people that have struggles like me in the field, and also some kind of level of recovery. So I feel like with my you know, it's not a huge blanket of knowledge, but with my somewhat understand, well, with my understanding of overstanding of some of how stuff works, yeah, I could do like, I never thought of it. I never thought that I could do that. And I did pursue it one time. I was like, but I wasn't where I needed to be. I wasn't in a community, a family, a church family that I really need to find a church family. Honestly, I feel like I could be aligned with a lot of different stuff. And they're going to give me a chance to do something and be active in the church. And that's going to, you know, build my shit up, because I really, for the majority of my life, I was not, I was not, you know, building a good resume for myself. So that's a fact of, you know, sometimes I would volunteer and stuff like that, but it's been so long, the volunteer work. Like when I turned 18, 19, I had volunteered at this place called Pathfinders. Was helping the, you know, young runaways, um, and yeah, I was always passionate about like helping that population though. So I know if I was to do anything, I'll be working with people that are like me, people with mental problems, people who really don't have a support system like that, people that grew up in the system, people that hypersexuality, they have really hypersexual, you know, from trauma, sexual abuse. Uh, that type of stuff is really relatable to me. So I feel like I shouldn't stick to that, as opposed to like just sitting in a chair and diagnosing people and giving them medications or just talking to them. I need to be more hands on in that population. And there's a lot of stuff that they need to know about growing up and what it's like in the world, transitioning from, you know, being in residential treatment facilities to being on your own. Um, my first love, the love of my life, and I still love him very deeply. And I would never tell, I don't know what to call Coop, my ex, I don't know. My first love though is everybody get acquainted to him. I don't care. I want everyone to know who he is. He might be embarrassed, but I'm not embarrassed of him. Embarrassed because of stuff that I've done on my other channel that he said wow, I can't believe you did that. I lost respect for you when you did that on live. Um, but Christopher, okay, that's my first, and I feel like Christopher understands me better than anybody else. We have so much history because of. I feel like we have history because of like our similar experiences. So it feels like we've been together even though we weren't together throughout like our growing up. But yeah, that's somebody that when I think about like making a difference or helping the youth, that's somebody that I feel like yeah, I wish I could be alongside them. Um, I wish we could work together, even if we're not together. You know what I'm saying? Because there's really not anybody in our community that's doing anything um, to address a lot of the youth problems. And I feel like the youth are actually a lot worse off than they were back then. Um, I don't know why. I just feel like, yeah, they don't really have proper role models, guidance, stuff like that. We had we had role models and we had guidance through certain programs that we were in, certain people that had been through, and or people that were in the church working through ministry with the youth that have a dark past. So we need more of that, and also igniting that desire to want to uh, be a positive impact on the youth and the community is very, 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 very important. Um, I want to do so much, but my mental health, and I swear, people think that, um, and I hate this misperception that some people have to living. You are a person that deals with a lot of different stuff like mental health, maybe health stuff. That if you are classified as disabled, that it is your choice to be so. It is your choice to not work, and you know, but it's not your choice to be disabled to the point to where it affects your normal life, to where you cannot function normally. And most employers are not going to be flexible with you when you have to go to all these different doctor's appointments for your health and your mental health. I mean, you could definitely sue someone, but to a certain extent, though, like they need you. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a boss that is really, really um, used to working with people and like that. And I don't know what kind of jobs there would be for people like me, especially limited physical stuff that I can do. I can't stand that long. Um, I can't walk too far. Um, what else? Oh, yeah, I can't be flustered with too much going on, overstimulation. If it's too much, too busy, too many people talking and hovering around me. I feel overwhelmed and I want to start destroying shit. Um, and if I'm having a particularly bad day, I need to be able to walk away, to take breaks, to smoke, to take walks, just to get away from everyone and just quiet my mind. And that's something that I don't know. I don't know. I have to explore different things. I have to try. But if I, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm just content with this. I'm not. I'm not content with this at all. I want to make a living for myself. I want to make my own money. I want to be productive. I want to be functioning. I want to be happy. I want to have purpose. And this is where a lot of my depression comes from. Like I have nothing to do, nothing to live for. But that's just the devil right there, right? I mean, it's not set in stone where I'm at right now. It's temporary, okay? And sometimes you need something to give you that push, and I did some good things for myself to create opportunities to get out and to do things. So it's just I have to get healthier, and losing weight would be a great way to do that. So where I could like physically move around more, because that's something that I inflicted on myself, or who I was with inflicted on me. Because before I met him, I was a lot smaller, and then he came and you know he had all. Yeah, even though he wasn't working, he made sure like he always had some kind of way to get food and stuff. And because his daughter was younger, she would always come over. We had to have groceries. So I went from staying by myself to not really. You look at my refrigerator, there's nothing, you know, and it was okay. It was okay for me to get some bologna and some lunch meat and just eat that, ramen noodles, whatever. Speaking of ramen too, I want to make me some ramen, and I have to use tap water, which is sick and disgusting, but it's either that or starve. Um, mm, I gotta get this stuff off my eyes. Uh, but yeah, I just wanted to briefly touch on my experience of borderline personality and my struggles and all the aspirations that I had may be out of reach right now. I just have to take it one day at a time, and I have to try. That's all I need to do. And anything is possible if you work hard enough for it and you want it bad enough. I was like anything, but you know, y'all know what I'm saying. I know you know what I'm saying. It won't find a way to like fuck with me about it. So thank you for watching this short, very, very momentary live, and letting my phone charge for a minute, and then I'm probably going to take a walk, and y'all can come along with in a bit. Because I think the store closes at 8 o'clock, and it's about to be 7. So yeah, I don't know if I'll make it or not, but if not, then that can be something that I speak to tomorrow. Until then, until we meet again, bye-bye. Have a good day. Stay motivated to do something better. I love you, Christopher. And all my friends out there, if you consider yourself a friend, I love you. And if you don't consider yourself a friend, God loves you. And yeah, I still want you to be happy. All right. So I'm out of here.